Hello YouTube, it's Lion here with Hobbies of Man once again, and today we're going to be doing another first impressions review. Today we're going to be looking at the Quintessential Quintuplets, Volume 1. The author here is Negi Harusa, and the publisher is Kodansha, as you guys can see right there on the side. Right, Kodansha Comics, right there. There you go, that's what that looks like. I think, yeah, this way is the right way. And the demographic is shonen, and the genres here are harem and rom-com. School slice of life is also kind of in there, and this does have an adaptation. It's actually the reason why this manga got popular in the first place, and I don't know anything about it, but it does seem quite good, so there you go. And yeah, so this doesn't have any special features or anything. It doesn't have color pages. Nothing about it is particularly special in any way. It's a very standard condensed volume. Honestly, the only remarkable feature about this volume is the fact that it doesn't have Kodansha disease, and all of the edges are crisp and clean and not damaged in any way, so good thing, I guess, but really, it should be the bare minimum in terms of a volume like this, right? So, yeah, I don't know what else to say before I get into the premise. I think Negi Harusa is going to come out with a new Tokusatsu-inspired manga, or he has been publishing it in Japan, but it's going to come to the English market here soon. I definitely want to pick that up. I was going to pick that up even before I tried Quintessential Quintuplets, but with the art style in this, I definitely want to pick it up now because I think it's going to be very, very nice. It's going to look very, very good. So yeah, let's get into the premise here. So we follow this character, Futaru Kisugi, I think is his name. No, Usugi. Uesugi, I guess, who is a great student. It's very similar to We Never Learn in that sense, but he's rather poor, and so he gets the opportunity to tutor 5 students in order to get some money so that he and his sister and his dad can finally kind of afford to eat better food and basically, live a better life. And the problem is that he has to teach this crazy group of quintuplets right here who basically don't want to study, and they're super privileged, and they really don't want to deal with him because he basically ended up causing a scene with one of them, which then created a bad first impression, which then leads to this group really just disliking him. And it's going to be a lot harder than he initially thought. And so we kind of get to follow them as this kind of happens. And we get this idea that, he is getting married to one of them. And he's flashing back to the origins of his romance with this character. And throughout this first volume, we kind of get an idea that one of these characters is the one that he's going to marry, which I think is this one, the main character, the first woman that he interacts with, or the first female character that he interacts with. Is the one that I think he's going to end up marrying, but I don't know because I haven't read the whole series. But I know he does marry one of them at the end. So it's kind of interesting in that sense that it sets up the final situation, and then the payoff is finding out which one he's getting married to. So I think that's pretty good. That's a pretty interesting setup, and I like the characters quite a bit. So I don't really know any of their names yet because they all definitely do look the same. I mean, they have like different vibes to them. One of them is like a very kind of normal girl next door kind of character. One of them is one of those like kudere type characters. One of them is kind of like a very kind of bimbo-y type character. There's like 5 of them, and each of them has their own kind of thing to go about them. And it's very interesting. It's very well done. But it is kind of hard to keep them straight in my head sometimes. And I'm sure that that's going to get easier the more I read this series. But it's quite good. I actually really like the character design. I think everything is distinct and clear and easy to distinguish. However, I mean, their faces are all the same, so that kind of does make it a little bit confusing, but everything else about them is very clearly different. And all of the characters look good and like beyond the 5 quintuplets. And the plot is pretty interesting. It does feel very similar to We Never Learn, though, so it's not like it's the most original thing ever, but it is kind of its own little niche in the rom-com kind of thing that isn't very populated. So it's good in that sense. Other than that, I mean, there really isn't much to say. It's a very good story. A lot of people like it. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot different from what I initially thought, which was going to be just We Never Learn, but it's quintuplets instead of 3 different girls. And I'm pleasantly surprised because each of the quintuplets brings something very interesting to the table. They interact with the main character differently, and they interact with each other in ways that are interesting. So I actually quite like that, and I think it's very, very good. Other than that, there really isn't much to say about the story. This first volume is pretty general. It just sets up the main plot, and it kind of ends in a slight cliffhanger in order for you to read the next volume. And that's really all there is to it. So there you go. That's all I have to say about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and see you guys later.